Outlander, Netflix's favorite romantic drama, brings a lot to the table: time travel, period romance, and the Highlander himself, Sam Heughan. The Scottish actor was unknown before being cast as the love interest in the series, but he wasn't unfamiliar with acting. Join us in this video as we talk about his big break and how he feels about it. Let's get into it. Firstly, Sam Heughan's big break. Outlander is a wildly popular book series where in 1945, the heroine, Claire Randall, gets sent back in time to old Scotland and meets a dashingly handsome warrior who literally can't understand anything she's saying because for him, it's the 1700s. It's a change of pace, that's for sure. The plot is amazing, the storyline is intelligent, and the acting is phenomenal. With a fan base that swears by it, safe to say Outlander by Diana Gabaldon took the UK by storm. And alongside his co-star, Irish actress Caitríona Balfe, Sam Heughan has a lot to owe to the series. He went on Square Mile in an interview with his friend from drama school, Tom Ellis, who plays Lucifer in Lucifer, to talk about how the success came late and how badly he struggled before he landed the gig. Before he did the audition, he was 34 and considering getting a bartending job, that was the state of his bank account. He was at a crossroads: continue acting or try to find a sustainable job. He admits readily that Outlander saved him. Heughan also quite charmingly stated that all struggle aside, he does feel like it helped him grow, and if he'd gotten a big job right out of film school, he's afraid he might have turned out a megalomaniac. Now for a quick update on Outlander. Season 6 of the series was released this year. At this point, the Frasers are a family unit just trying to live peacefully during the absolute beginning of the American Revolution. Claire is gifted with knowledge of the future, and it is sometimes less of a gift and just more stress. Due to COVID, this season was shorter than the others, with only 8 episodes but packed with drama. James swore loyalty to the British crown, but now that the revolution and time for freedom is coming, he's torn between his pledge and the passion he feels for the Americans under whose land he lives. And of course, there's more drama in the community with tensions between the Browns and the Frasers. This worsens with the arrival of the Christie family, and by the end of the season, Claire and Jamie's hold on their home is weakening. We're excited for whatever comes next. Coming up, everything we know about Sam Heughan. When it originally got adapted for the big screen in 2014, fans were ready to be super critical. Sam Heughan blew past their expectations. A Scot born and raised in the most perfect way possible, Heughan grew up living in a castle's stables. But his life wasn't all charm. Before his big break, he was living paycheck to paycheck and became quite familiar with London's casting directors. He was familiar with playing well-known roles such as Batman in a touring theater production, but he definitely wasn't familiar with the level of stardom he rose to after he got the role. Aside from being the dreamboat he is on Outlander, he's also incredibly thoughtful and generous, telling his heartwarming story to Tom Ellis, quote, "I remember being terrified that I had to tip the driver when I got to LA because I'd read about tipping in Los Angeles. I only had $20 or whatever, so I gave him my last $20. I'm like, quote, I'm staying in this amazing hotel, but I can't touch anything. I can't touch the minibar because I won't be able to pay for it. The dream guy." Heughan lives in Glasgow, and his sudden rise to fame causes him to be very private and cautious about his personal life. He also owns his own whiskey brand called Sassenach, after the nickname his character James Fraser has for Claire, his love interest in the show. That's not just dedication, it's a true appreciation for what brought him here. Next, highlights from his interview with the Devil. Fans were delighted to find out Tom Ellis and Sam Heughan are old friends from acting school. Tom interviewed Sam on Square Mile, and here are some of the best moments from the interview. First, we laughed at the opening exchange, which was them tossing compliments at each other. They were very British. Ellis said he looks handsome as always, and Heughan called Ellis suave. There were more compliments littered throughout the interview because, of course. Then there was Sam's blinking anecdote. The actor shared a story about how when he was on camera for the first time, he was doing an emotional scene and had read that he, quote, wasn't supposed to blink on camera. He did his best. By the end, his eyes were watering, and the director made him do it again with blinking because that advice was definitely fake. Tom Ellis thought it was hilarious and added, quote, "How to be a better actor 101, to which Sam replied, acting school day 1 1, you're not allowed to blink, bants with the lads. They go on to reminisce about wanting to do theater, unfortunately the TV is where the money is. Near the end, they make plans to go on a hike, but it gets funny and awkward when they mention how it's sort of a romantic date activity. Sam says he doesn't really want to hold hands with Tom, and Tom hilariously plugs Sam's whiskey company in response. Their chemistry is amazing, and we hope to see them on the screen together someday. Now for what Heughan has to say about fame and fans. The worst kind of stardom to deal with is definitely sudden fame. There's no way to get used to it slowly, just a very quick period of adjustment. This sort of fame is even more difficult when you're constantly working, like Sam Heughan and his co-star had to do with Outlander. He talks about how it was a jarring change and how he was caught off guard by fame. He was very open and unguarded at the start of everything, but he very quickly learned to be private and protective of himself. Heughan loves his fans though and says they're terrific. The sort of fan base the actor has from his Bodis Ripper drama must be easy to deal with. The only difficulty he's faced with them is the fact that they sincerely believe he and his co-star are in love. This is harder for Katrina Balfe, who got married in 2019. While it seems funny at first, there are serious drawbacks of having obsessive fans, and they both acknowledge it's scary, and huge downside and taint on their world that people like that exists. Balfe in particular has a child to be concerned about. The church she was wed at got called asking for confirmation of the marriage by some particularly insane fans. Those people have serious issues, not to mention the actor's philanthropic work. It's clear to all his adoring fans that besides him being handsome, Heughan is deeply kind. The actor is incredibly grateful for his community and for the luck he's had getting his current role. Having been through tough times himself in his 30s, when he was living job by job in a terrible apartment, he's deeply aware of how good he has it now and the struggles people go through with poverty. He hasn't ever been homeless, but speaks about how there were drug dealers on the street he lived on, and he could see with his own eyes that kind of life. It's certainly because of his awareness of how lucky he is that he's constantly donating and is very politically active, taking a stand for Scotland's independence and being a Scotland head of Bloodwise, a UK-based blood cancer charity. He's a patron of the arts, particularly the Youth Theatre Arts Scotland. He also started the nutrition challenge My Peak in 2015. All of this goes to show that if you were supported, you're more likely to want to give back to your community. We need more stories like this. Finally, Heughan talking about Outlander. Heughan connected with the role of James Fraser very quickly. It's not typecasting exactly, it's more like he was made for the character. He was raised in a castle, grew up playing sword fighting and pretending to be King Arthur, and he looks amazing in that ginger wig. He said, quote, "I read the part and I knew this guy, I knew this Highlander, and I just felt like, yes, I can make it work." You definitely do, Sam. It's been almost 8 years for him doing this series, and he doesn't show any signs of being bored. Rather, Heughan is grateful to walk onto set and feel confident as well as comfortable around his cast and crew. He added that while people usually get stuck doing long shows and wonder if this is all they can do, he doesn't face that problem with Outlander. There are new challenges every day. Working in ice and snow and through the era of the pandemic definitely wasn't easy, that's for sure. And that's all for today's video, my friends. What do you all think? Is Sam Heughan the greatest Scottish export ever? And are you excited for the next season of Outlander? Let us know in the comments below. Please make sure to give this video a like and go ahead and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Goodbye for now, and we'll see you in the next one.